Good morning, baby dolls. We're going to take our out in the yard stroll, Sunday stroll, but we're starting here in the kitchen because I've had some viewers that are like, I love your kitchen. Can we please see more of it? I don't know why yins would want to, but okay. That Fiesta up on the top there, obviously it's up on the top because it is among the most valuable vintage pieces. So there's my old, that's probably, by now it's probably 150, 175 years old. And sure shows it with the wear and tear, and yes, it has the, thing that you pull out. I feel so weird doing this. If you want to see my kitchen, it's like what's around behind the refrigerator. I like metalware. Metal, a box that the kitties get into in the way. Granite ware. Old cookie cutters. Just trying to remember. Y'all, almost everything I have was give to me or handed down to me. More granite ware. That was my brother's. This was my brother's. A neighbor found that white one. This one out in, I don't know, out somewhere in his yard, and somebody had mixed putty or something in it. Took me days and days on end to get it cleaned up. Gracie brought me this, and if you Google these bowls, if you Google them, it's one of a set, that just that one, and that's, I think that's Aunt Lena's, where you cut your shortening into your flour. My friend brought me that from Africa. Old tater masher. All of these belong to some that belonged to one of my mother's-in-law. Anyway, that's obviously the, every one of the jars or bottles has some sort of silly significance. This is why you don't want to walk around barefooted, especially at an old home place like ours. Let me get this, see if you can see it. Every one of those is a shard of glass. Because you see up here, well, there's a couple of little rocks that I found and put in there. But this is all stuff that's come out of the yard here in the, 8-9 years we've been here at the bungalow. See there? And that's because back then, there was no such thing as the garbage man. So you had a burn pile. And you kept all your glass, really, until it broke. So, if you live in an old home place like I do, don't walk around out in your yard barefooted. And I keep those just because some of them, who knows how old. There are a few pieces that are from, you can tell they're from old medicine bottles because of the marks on the bottom. There'll be a little piece of a bottom. And that's my manual coffee grinder, just in case there's no electricity, so that I can grind my beans if I need to. Them ain't beans, them's hazelnuts. But anyway, I don't know why y'all would want it, but here's more granite ware. Needs to be washed. This is my mama's. That was mama's. That was mama's. There was a bigger roaster than that. I gave it to my oldest son. The old skillet in the back was my brother's little wash pan. Somebody gave it to me. I don't remember now. And the white one was given to me. And there's our wood-burning stove that ain't going to get used anymore because now we have central heating and air. Thank you very much. And that's the old clean out for the chimney on the kitchen side. I like hugs, I like kisses, but what I like hugs, I like kisses, but what I love is help with the dishes. And friends and Grandma's kitchen made with love. My grandbabies that are now grown women with babies of their own bought that collectively for me for Christmas. Seems like 100 million years ago, and some things are obvious. Oh, my sister that died years ago, she loved chickens and rooster stuff, and I had bought this for her when I was on the road. Well, no, I wasn't on the road. That's not exactly the right description. I had traveled to Broken Bow, Oklahoma. No, it was Mayflower, Arkansas. Where was I? It's down yonder it's in Arkansas. Damn it. Out in the middle of nowhere. Out west of Little Rock. Beg your pardon. Singing at an event. And they had a gift shop there, and I bought that for my sister, and after she died, my nephew gave it back to me. This is so weird. I'm not going to go through every piece over here, y'all. Yes, I have pieces and pieces. Stuff and stuff and stuff. See there? Now looky there. See? I don't know why y'all would. Everything has some sort of sentimental value, and I am not going to go through all of that right now. I'm just not, because, yeah, there's newspaper all over the floor, because, how come there's newspaper all over the floor tray? Why? Why is there newspaper all over the floor tray? Because it's Sunday morning, there's Daddy's easy chair, and he's gone down to the river right now. Not to fish. He's gone down to check on the property of one of our clients. One of his clients, actually. Anyway, I don't know. People want to see my house, so I'm just doing this while getting ready to do this, because we're going to go out here. I don't know if any of you have seen JLR's walk with a young man named Brandon that lives right down there where, well, you know, Ben Hill Road. And I ordinarily would not have seen it, but my girlfriend Shay's Safe Place, hi Jen Jen, sent a link to me. And I have found that when Shay sends a person a link, it's usually a pretty good idea to click on it. There's usually something of value there. Well, there's always something of value there. Levels of interest to different ones of us for different reasons. I got to get me a cigarette, y'all. So this is going to be one of them, you know, I'm not being real picky about where the camera aims. Right here at first, not beautiful. There's Bob's new chair. Right here at first, because it's just a different kind of video. Sometimes we just do things different. I'm going to light the cigarette. And make sure I got it lit, and then we're going to stroll. Beg your pardon. can see the babies. They just got through eating and they're doing great. Now, back to JLR's video. Hi, Mommy. We're going to stroll. Shay sent me the link, and I'm going to leave that link in the description below this video. I think it's about an hour and 30 minutes long. And Michelle, After Dark, has done a really nice piece on it this morning, Sunday morning, June 26th, 2022. And she took us on a stroll, and I'll leave a link to that too in the description below. Michelle takes us on a stroll to demonstrate a certain similarity. Now, we're not going to do that here because y'all will definitely get the idea if you go watch JLR's video, and I hope that you will. But if you haven't seen it, just a brief, what I call it, is it a synopsis? Let's get away from this air conditioner. Y'all, as a sidebar, the yard and whatnot's not going to look quite as nice as normal because it has been in the upper 90 degrees here over the past week, and just too hot for me to get out here and do a whole lot. But got to get the cellar, need to spray the cellar. You know, just, it's looking pretty good, but I need to spray for spiders and whatnot, just in case, because tornado season here in Arkansas runs pretty much March through November. But anyway, so apologies ahead of time that things aren't going to look quite as pretty as I'd like for them to look. Here's Weavers. So JLR is basically out in his car, driving around in the Beach Creek area, and as best as I could figure, he goes down this road, turns on this road that he hadn't been on, and there's a young man named Brandon out there, and JLR gets to talking to Brandon, and Brandon says, well, come on. And for the next hour and 30 minutes or so, you get to walk with Brandon and JLR all up, in, around, over, through, and you get to find out that just wearing a pair of shorts and, wow, I was actually amazed in a way. Brandon is wearing shorts, no shirt. He's got a firearm just in case, because he had to kill a copperhead not too long before that, the way I understood it. And looked like maybe ankle boots, but, you know, no hiking attire. And Jonathan certainly didn't go out there prepared to take this journey that Brandon takes him on. And I'm not going to talk too much about the walk and the talk of the journey. I want y'all to give Jonathan Lee Riches the view, if you would, because he's the one that took the walk, y'all, on a very, very hot June day in Beach Creek, where a young man who scouts for and in season digs ginseng takes us, well, he takes JLR, but through, thankfully, JLR being kind enough to shoot it all and share it with us, we get to go too. And one reason I find it so valuable is because it's June. And it's the terrain where Summer Moon Utah Wells went missing June the 15th of 2021 from her home at 110 Ben Hill Road. And the properties are all connected up. He walks him right past where Jody Sue Brown lived, the driveway of 110 Ben Hill Road. They hitch a ride going down the highway. Some good folks pick them up. They jump in the back of the pickup truck like we do up here in the hills. And y'all, it took me and Bob back. Bob came in and watched it too. And we were remembering journeys we've had. My friend Marion that I sang with for 19 years in the trio, folk singing. 80 acres in the Meadow Creek, Arkansas. If you got to Marion's house, or if you got to my house, which was on Rattlesnake Ridge, 28 acres, you either knew exactly where you were going or you were lost as all get out. Brandon knows where he's going. It's just really an interesting. As y'all can tell, I really don't have a whole lot to say today about, oh, looky here at the onions. Other than I wanted to give you a heads up on this video from JLR. Because most of my viewers are as invested, and some of you even more, in your hearts and your souls and your spirit. And if we had it in our bodies, me and Bob agreed this morning, if we were younger and in better health, he'd be taking a 2-week to a 1-month vacation, and we'd be headed to Tennessee. But we can't. So I sure appreciate people like JLR. Thank you, Jonathan Lee Riches. Oh my goodness. Oh, y'all, did I say I wasn't going to have any tomatoes before the 4th of July? Did I say that? What are we looking at? What? Look. Oh, well, you know what? The cigarette went out, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to get that little puppy right yonder. I don't even know if y'all can see, because you know I can't see what you're seeing because of the way it's sunny. Y'all, I'm going to eat that right now. I know mukbanging is not cool. Oh, y'all. I'm very sorry if you can hear me chewing. That's my first tomato of the season. I believe me and Mr. Bob's going to be having us some salad tonight with our pork chops and fried taters. Anyway, here again, I'm very sorry if you can hear me chewing, but some things you just got to do. I am going to spit some of that peeling out because I didn't want to just keep it chewing and chewing. Jalapenos. I hope that's in focus. Not that y'all ain't ever seen a jalapeno growing. Weavers, you following Mama today? Where's Tuffy Muffy? Grasshoppers have been all over the cannas out here. But as I've told you before, I don't like to use chemicals unless I just absolutely have to. And I haven't had to end up using any. This is bell pepper, y'all remember that. And I won't unless I see something eating on my food. Because ain't nobody going to eat or can or freeze none of anything, whatever. There. Is that Tuffy Muffy? Or is that Ginger? There's Ginger. There's Ginger. So, yeah, you may remember, too, that there was 6 jalapeno plants out here. There was one right yonder. Well, I was dragging the hose out there to water the willow tree the other day, and when I was dragging it back, I dragged that plant right out of the ground, had the hose hooked around it, and didn't realize it. But anyway, got plenty of jalapenos coming anyway. Now, I know this is loose, but hey, y'all, I ain't got nothing to gripe about today. It's all good. Life's good. It's a little bit cooler. Nice breeze blowing. Hadn't got out here. Here's where it's looking pretty tacky. Because I sure have not got out here to the toad garden. I mean, there's trees and privet growing up in there that shouldn't be there. You know, this... I need to get this out, get that out, get that out, get that out. Get all them leaves out. And Bob was saying this morning that it's supposed to be cooler next week, so. And I had my first tomatoes, so. I mean, who can gripe after having their first tomato? After telling y'all that I probably wouldn't have any before the 4th of July. And you know what? I believe there's a couple of green ones out there that we might have some fried green tomatoes this evening with them pork chops. What's the fig tree do? Ooh, looky how. Yeah. Yeah, nothing ready to eat yet. Ooh, I need to trim that limb out of you there. That magnolia limb growing over here into my fig bush. Oh, yeah. Oh, Lordy mercy. Bob's going to be taking a lot of fig. Y'all, I don't even know if you can see, but up there at the top, I mean, it is just loaded. Kind of hard to see them because they're still green. But over here the other day, I thought I saw one that was getting close to ripe. I need to get Bob to cut this dead limb out of there. But see here, it's got to be cut off. See, this is alive, got figs on it. I just need that part cut off. But it's too thick for my little tool that I use. So I need to get that off there. And this is, I love this. I didn't do this. The place this bungalow was built for is a home raising in 1939. The Mrs. Granny did this. Y'all, it's a fig tree and a grapevine. If you know anything about the Bible at all, if you don't, Google fig tree, grapevine in the Bible. I think it was Peter that prayed under a fig tree. And I have to assume that fig tree and grapevine purposefully combined is symbolic of a promise that was made by a superior being of some sort or another that I can't quite figure out. But it has to do with everybody getting to have their own fig tree and grapevines. Yeah. Well, it is Sunday. I can talk a little bit about that kind of stuff on a Sunday, can't I? The black walnut tree. It gives nice shade, but doggone, the way the power lines ran once power came down here. Of course, when our house was built, there was no power. electric power. But I got walnuts coming. Harvest for walnuts is usually in October. Oh, widow women up here in the Arkansas Ozark Hills, way back yonder, they would use that juice, that brown juice, to dye their hair. Had to be real careful not to let it run down or trickle down their forehead, because then for sure somebody would know you was dyeing your hair using black walnut juice, because you can't get it off. I ain't lying to you either. That's the truth. I never knew anybody personally that did it, but I sure did hear some stories of it. Black walnut juice to dye your hair. Of course, that wouldn't work too good if you was a blonde, would it? And most of the gals in my family was either auburn-haired from the Irish, I reckon, or they was blonde-haired like me and my mommy. My sister was auburn-haired. My brothers had brunette. More like my daddy's side. Y'all, I might have to get some of this cypress vine out of this mint. It seems to be holding it back. My mint's usually doing a whole lot more. I probably need to give it a good watering too. But I wish y'all could smell that. Man, it smells good. And little sports car going up the road. Here's Summer's morning glories. A couple of blooms this morning. It's actually a little late in the morning. Most of the blooms are open earlier. As you can see, we've got the runners up, and it's beginning to, well, it's more than beginning. It's taller than I am. Starting to grow up, and here's one of the tiny blooms of the cypress vine. I hope it's in focus. And several of you are correct, and I've replied to you, I hope most of you, that many people refer to it as hummingbird vine, and that's why it's here. One of the reasons it's here, because the hummingbirds love it. So yeah, and look who's blocked our way into the garden again. Well, it looks pretty tacky right now anyway, and we're at 30 minutes just about it. So, hey, I hope that everyone is okay. I hope everyone is staying strong. Look at the folks at the old, you can't tell it's an old church because like my house, it's been refurbished or remodeled, whatever you call it. But if you look at the foundation, which you probably can't see from here, but the foundation is the same as that house up yonder. And there used to not be so many houses around here. So, if you haven't seen the community page, now that we've about made full circle here, go look at it maybe if you want to and see the couple of mugshots I've uploaded of a man named Mark Allen Smith. I on purpose did not put any names in that community post because I wanted to pique your curiosity. The next live we do, as I've stated in that community post, will be the serial killer rapist, Mark Allen Smith, who in 1969, when I was 15, And my friend, Obie Faye Ash, who was 32, became one of his victims. She was the only one he killed in Arkansas. And I want to talk about it. And I want to talk to you guys about him. And it relates to the things we talk about. It will be, hopefully, the deepest and darkest we ever go. But I want you to know right now, if you tune in for live streams on my channel regarding my friend Obie Faye Ash and her killer, Mark Allen Smith, extreme trigger warning. It will be very disturbing. I love my viewers and I don't want y'all to be traumatized. But I'm going to do this. I'm going to do it for Obie Faye. I'm not going to be doing that no one has done anything no one's done before. We're going to be looking at some newspaper articles. We're going to be looking at a number of websites sharing their research. I will intermingle my personal relationship with Obie Faye. And talk about the terror that myself, my sister, and all of the women in our town of 810 people felt for quite some time until Mark Allen Smith confessed. The men had guns and carried them. The women were shown how to use them. The doors were kept locked. So, I just want y'all to know that ahead of time. I love you too much to expose you to something that would traumatize you. And this is potentially extremely triggering, okay? All right, I love you all, and I think looking at the sleeping babies is a good place to tell you I love you very much. Please continue to love yourselves and love one another. Go outside, and if you can't get outside, rewind and watch this again. Pretend you're walking along beside me. I love you, darlings. Bye-bye.